Hi, my name is Jami Gibbens, and I will be Blake's fifth grade reading teacher for this year. I am a 21-year veteran teacher from Okmulgee, Oklahoma, and I'm looking forward to a great year this year. Blake was given the STAR reading test back on September 8th. Sorry, my nose is running. September 8th. And there are a few things that I would like to discuss with you guys before we move forward for this year. And let me share my screen. If you'll notice right here, and my cat's trying to go across my screen. Blake scored at a 31 in the percentile rate. This just simply meant that he scored higher than 31% of the students nationally in the same grade. This means that he might need a little bit of intervention for reading, because it also relates to right here with his instructional reading level. So that right there tells me that Blake's reading right about at a fourth grade reading level. If you look a little bit farther down, there are a few things that are discussed, some key points that it's saying that Blake needs to work on. So what I went through is I went through a few of those key points, and I developed a lesson plan for the week and to kind of hit a few of those points so that we can work on a few of those, and I wanted to discuss those with you. So let's look at those right now. So if you will notice, the standard that we're going to discuss right now is that I want Blake to be able to determine how literary devices contribute to the meaning of a text. And what that is going to mean is that we're going to talk about literal and figurative language. Okay, so we're going to be studying literal and figurative language all week long. Okay, so we're going to be watching videos. We're going to be playing games and helping to review things like stuff like that. So for on the first day or on Monday, we're going to discuss basically the difference between literal and figurative language, because a lot of times kids don't really understand the difference between the two, and I like to teach kids the why behind everything. So why are we learning about figurative language, and why do we use it in writing? And so we're going to talk about that. On Tuesday, or on the next day, we're going to be talking about and my thing isn't switching. Sorry. We're going to talk about hyperboles and onomatopoeias and alliteration. We're going to discuss what they are, how to use them, and the differences between all of those, and when they're used and how they're used in writing. Then Wednesday is going to be an in-person day. During that day, we're going to discuss similes and metaphors. We're going to still go back and review our previous topics that we've talked about, but we're also going to watch more videos about similes and metaphors, because sometimes similes and metaphors is kind of a harder concept to understand. Even though they're both things that used for comparing things, there's still some slight differences that are sometimes hard to pick up on. On Thursday, we are going to talk about personification and how we use it in writing, and how we can recognize that. And then all of those days that lead up to now, we're going to use informal forms of assessment. Okay, I don't believe in just giving a hardcore assessment every day, every day, every day. Okay, we're using kind of informal assessment along the way. But on Friday, we are going to have a formal assessment because I do have to have some way of assessing to make sure that Blake does understand, kind of to make sure that he does understand the different forms of figurative language, and that he understands the concepts of when to use them, how to use them, and whatnot. As far as his reading level, I'm a firm believer in independent reading practice. So, my recommendation for Blake is also to read 20 minutes a day independently. If Blake would do that, I strongly believe that that would help increase his reading level tremendously. Statistics show that 20 minutes a day of independent reading practice could help in increasing a reading level by 1 grade. So if you could assist Blake in reading independently and help remind him that he needs to read 20 minutes a day, that would be great. If you would look on that STAR test or that STAR report that we looked at initially, it shows that there was a reading zone of proximal development, and that gave a range of 3.1 to 4.8, and that is a range to make sure that if he could look up books on our accelerated reading program within that range, that's to make sure that he finds books within that range that still is challenging enough to make sure that he is going to excel but not be frustrated. And so as long as he stays within that range, he's going to do great and he's going to excel, but he's not going to get frustrated. And that's exactly what we want. So if you could help him do that, and then I'll do my part for sure, and we will make sure and make this a successful year. And if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to contact me. And again, we will see each other in person on Wednesday. You can reach out to me at any time via email me, or like I said, whenever we see each other in person. And I look forward to seeing you and Blake and having a great and wonderful year. So have a great day, and I'll talk with you soon.